Well, Happy New Year. Welcome back. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas and a wonderful holiday. I know some of us were snowed in, snowed out, and some of our Christmases were a little delayed, and some of you, everything worked out just fine. So anyways, it's been quite of a whirlwind for some of us. But I'm excited to have all you guys back. I actually did miss you guys. When I canceled our Sunday night team meeting, I was like just on the edge. I thought, oh, I miss you guys so much, but I knew I wanted another night with my boys because we didn't have our real Christmas until later. So anyways, I needed time out to spend with my boys, and it was a lovely evening. So thank you for your patience. And I knew that getting together today and our meeting we're having tomorrow at 12 o'clock for all the promoters, they're going to be announcing all the new incentives. We had a kind of like a pre viewing today, and I'm really excited about some of the changes that they're making for us just to help to grow our businesses. They're simplifying the incentives, but they're making them really nice. So I'm really looking forward to for you learning. I'm still learning. Like I said, we just saw it for the first time yesterday. I'm looking forward to seeing it again and hearing it again. And but one thing I want to share with you, that setting goals for anything, whether it be business, whether it be weight loss, fitness goals, it's really important that they're realistic goals, okay? And that you have a clear vision. Because I remember when I first started building my Neolife business, and I remember initially, my goal was to have a tax savings at the end of the year, to make an extra $1,000 a month part-time, right? And then once I achieved that goal and I was excited about the tax savings, then I started to set bigger goals like leaving my job, which is a huge goal, right? Because I needed to replace a pretty good income, and the security, I wouldn't have that security anymore, right? So when I set that goal, I remember sitting down with my upline, Alan and Elise, and they said, you need to write it out. You need to have a clear vision, and you need to have sticky notes all over your house, whether it be on your bathroom mirror, in your bedroom, on your refrigerator, anywhere that you're looking on a regular basis, to have that visual. And I did that. I had sticky notes. I had taped up different pieces of paper with my goals and the different titles that I wanted to achieve, the time frame that I wanted to achieve them, and and then the vision boards and the pictures, and it was so clear what I wanted. So that's what I wanted to help you understand is you need to have a clear vision, okay? And again, has to be realistic. Okay, so saying, for example, you want to be a diamond by the end of this year is not realistic. Okay, everyone will have different goals. Okay, lives are different, timing is different, but it's really important that you sit with your upline, the person that invited you or introduced you to the business, and have a plan for your realistic goals. And for some of you that are brand new to the business, for example, like Justin just became a promoter today, so we're going to have to sit with Justin and say, hey, this is your next step. This is your goal, which is manager, then senior manager, right? And then once he achieves the manager, then his next goal is senior manager and executive manager. And we will sit down with Justin and explain what this looks like, so he has a clear vision on what he needs to do. Okay, so you definitely need to set a time and set a date to set these goals. And it's important to memorize your goals. Again, have them on your wall where you see them, mirror, bathroom, above your desk, on your computer. Goals in writing are dreams with deadlines. So if you're just talking about it, but you don't have it written down, you don't have that clear vision, it's harder to achieve. Okay, they have to be set in stone in your mind. And you have to know what they are, prioritize them in order of importance, and memorize them. Okay, this is the seed of action. These goals are what are going to propel you to do the things that you need to do, okay, to get your goals achieved. So visualize. I believe you need to have a vision. Focus on your vision. Take some time to regularly envision your dreams and goals. It deepens your desire to get your goals. It puts you into the frame of mind that keeps you positive, and no one can knock you down, because many of us are surrounded with negativity, people that do not believe in what we do, co-workers. I worked with, you knew the environment. I have to say, I worked with a couple of really good guys, and one of them was Henry, Mary Ellen, your husband. He was one of the good guys, but I worked with a lot of negative guys as well that didn't believe in what I did. They thought I was crazy when I told them I wanted to leave my police career, and they literally would call me out on it and had bets. They'd like, you're never going to leave this career, Saint Germain. You're never going to leave the security, Saint Germain. And that's where I really found a deeper desire to say, no, I'm going to do this. And I'm going to leave my job. I want the time freedom. I want to work from home. I wanted to be my own boss. And I literally started writing that down every single day. Every day, time freedom, flexibility, be my own boss, work from home, start a family. And these are the things that kept me inspired, so that when the negative hits would come at me, it would knock me down. Okay, really, really important, really, really powerful. Now, anybody here on our team have an example or maybe share a little bit of a story of how you've overcome some of the challenges and by setting goals, and what are some of the things you do to focus on your goals? Any ideas at all? I'm putting it out there. I'm asking you guys to share some of the things and tips that you've done. Mary Ellen, you unmuted?
Yep. Well, one thing I found was sharing my goals with other people helped, because then they could support you, or you know, and it actually makes you more accountable too by doing that, and of course writing them down and having them in a visual place. Absolutely. And not to get frustrated too. Like sometimes we don't always reach the goal that we want to reach right away, but if we're so much closer, if we've written it down, and then we just keep working towards it, and eventually it happens. And not to set your, like you mentioned, your goals too big, have like little bite-sized goals to work up to the bigger goals.
Yeah. Yeah. And Mary Ellen, I remember one of your first goals that you shared, it was one of them, was just to hire a cleaning lady. Do you remember that?
Yeah, just to give me more time, because I needed the time to spend it with the kids and to work on the business. So yeah, that was one of my first goals, and that's and I still have a cleaning lady to this day.
Which is a great goal. Anybody else have maybe a small goal that they had set and that they were able to achieve, and maybe share, you know, some of the other goals that you have? Because I want people to understand that it doesn't have to be, I want to make $1 million right away, right? Like Mary Ellen's first goal was, I just want to have enough money to pay for a cleaning lady so that I can have more time, freedom to build my Neolife business and have that time to spend with my family while I'm building my business and not having to clean my house, right? So anybody else have a little goal that you were able to achieve, that you'd set and that you were able to, anybody? Just unmute yourselves, okay? Need to see you guys.
A lot of people want to pay for their products too. That's a good one.
Yeah. Serena.
That's exactly what I was going to say, Mary Ellen. So my initial goal was, because my family got on the products as well, I wanted to be able to cover the costs of the products. And then once I achieved that goal and I started making a little bit extra, then that's when I set my next goal. Pardon me.
Yes.
So yeah, the products is great.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else? Just a small little goal that you were able to achieve, and maybe share the bigger vision if you want. Yes, Heather.
Well, many, many years ago, when we had a Canadian office in Mississauga, there was an incentive, speaking of incentives coming out tomorrow, when we had the 3 and 30, and we would win a dinner with Rico Brown, who is not in our North American corporate right now, but he's still with Neolife. And so I wanted to be able to do 3 and 30. Well, recruiting 3 people in 30 days seemed like really difficult at that time. It was a long time ago, early in my Neolife career. And I did it. I got the 3 people, and I went to dinner with Rico Brown, and it was really, really neat. And what that did actually, it set the stage. So I knew I could do it. I knew that in another month I could do 3 people, right? So once you set the precedent, then that becomes a doable goal, a doable action, and then you can start building on it.
Yes.
So that was one.
Yes, that's a powerful goal. And you know what, Heather, I'm glad you brought that up, because when I started my Neolife business, I signed up 3 people every single month. Both Flo and I, the girl that introduced me to the business, and like her upline was Gord and Al. And they said to me that if you wanted to build an income, you need to introduce 3 new people every single month. And we did that. And Flo and I were on stage at convention the following year as one of the top personal sponsor and top team sponsor for North America. So it was kind of, there was, I can't remember, there was like 10 of us or something like that. It was a little different back then, but it was really interesting because when you look at the consistency of the income, it's completely related to the people that you're bringing in, whether it be customers or promoters, right? And in that sponsoring, I also introduced people to the business. So it wasn't just customers, okay? And that's why this new incentive they're going to share with you tomorrow is focusing on introducing club members and promoters. Because imagine this, imagine you introducing 3 people, customers, but then you finding 3 other people or 4 other people that start doing the same. They're introducing 3 people every single month. That's where the income can grow to a 6-figure income. So I'm trying to get that if you want to make a 6-figure income, you can't do it all on your own. Or you can, but it's harder and it'll take you a lot longer to get there. But if you're sharing and you have other people sharing, that's where you can build incredible income. And you have to remember, guys, like replacing a police income and then replacing both 2 incomes, like my husband and mine, I had to make sure that the income was consistent and stable, right, for long term. Because I wasn't going to quit my job, build this business, and then have that income just disappear because I didn't have anything else to fall back on, right? So because the products work and because you can build an international business, it's incredible what you can do with just introducing 3 new people every single month. And it's fun. If you set that as a goal and a vision to talk to 3 people a day and introduce 3 people to Neolife, it really is a lot of fun. And people will thank you. They will thank you and be grateful. Okay. Okay. Anybody else?
Yeah, I have one.
Yes.
I have the 3 for free. I worked into that. So I did get a few 3 for free. So that was one of my things, to be able to not pay for that. So there you go.
Yes. Getting your products for free is so exciting. Right? Absolutely. All right. When are your goals?
Well, as you know, I've moved to a new place. So my goal is, I put the top of the goal first, but I'm going to start at the bottom, because the bottom is where I am right now. And it's meeting people, like-minded people. It's not just meeting people, it's meeting like-minded people who will be my lifelong friends, really, is how I look at it. I feel like Bette Midler. I'm standing on that corner, I'm waiting for my new friends to come. And it's got its challenges, because I am meeting a lot of people with all the different groups that I've joined since I moved back to Kingston, but they're not necessarily friends yet. And hiking has been a bit of a bust because of all the rain. So, I really haven't had that opportunity to get out with new people. So that's definitely where I'm starting to meet new people. What I want to do is, and it's in my my cards, my 25 cards, is that I offer the opportunity and the products to everyone I meet. So that can't necessarily be the first time you meet someone, because I haven't managed to have success with that. So I'm trying to go slow and go more effective. But I do want to get I want to get promoters. I mean, I have 2 promoters, but they're a little behind in their own goals as far as the business goes. So I need new promoters, like-minded people. My goal has always been to become a director. And of course, to become a director and to maintain that consistency, I want to be obviously an Emerald director, because that means I'm going to be staying in the game at that level. And I do know that my ultimate goal is financial. I want to have a minimum of $2,000 a month by the end of this year. That's kind of my annual goal for this year. Is I'm really strongly encouraging myself, because I need the income. I need to stop depending on my investments, because I'm going to deplete them. So I need to replace them with a real, an additional income. So there's my goals in a nutshell.
You know
I'm
what,
sure I'll
Lynn?
stand
I
upon them.
have to say that watching you and listening to you since you've come to your new home, I feel that I know this will happen for you, because you were in a place where you weren't meeting new people, and you were such a wonderful, warm, kind person that people, once they get to know who you are and what we do, they're going to want to be a part of what you're doing. And the biggest challenge you had is you were meeting people. So there was nobody to share that wonderful personality with, right? So now that, and just remember, planting seeds and sharing and connecting, and it's all timing. But you're right, you have to be meeting people to put them in the funnel so that you can introduce them, right? And now that you're in this amazing environment, you will. And just keep that focus. And you know what? I'm so glad that you said reading your cards, because I read my cards every morning and every night. And these are cards where I've written down what I'm grateful for, goals that I've achieved. I thank God every day. And because you have to share that peace and that gratefulness, and put that positive energy out there, so that more good will come to you, and people will come, just come out of nowhere. I remember when I used to go into this one coffee shop in Orangeville, and this one lady, young girl, came up to me and she says, you come here quite often, you sit here with your laptop, and she goes, I just want to tell you that there's this positive energy about you. I don't know what you do, but whatever you do, whatever you're doing, I could tell you like what you do. And I was like, oh my gosh. She goes, it's just this energy when you walk into the cafe. And this is like, I'm talking about 7 or 8 years ago, guys. And I was like, cool. I'm like, oh, thank you and I've had people say that to me in the past, where it's the energy that you give off is what people are going to want to be a part of what you do. So don't be afraid to share that with people, to share what we do, because we have something that can change people's lives. Okay, we really, really do. Awesome. Anybody else? A small goal that you set early in your business, how you accomplished it, and maybe share like what Wen did, some of your goals that you have for the future. Anybody?
I'll share mine now.
Yes, thank you.
So in the beginning, my main motivation was to do the business was to buy my products as well, because I was in a big program because of my issues, right? And then, it was getting really stressful at work, and I thought, what if I took early retirement? And by becoming a director, that was able to supplement my retirement pension. So that was a big thing for me, because it relieved a lot of stress for me by leaving that environment. So those are the two things that long term.
Absolutely.
So do you want the goals for this year, or what?
Sure. Yeah, that'd be lovely. If you guys are ready, that'd be lovely.
So my audacious and possible goal is to become a One Ruby. So that means having 3 directors. And it's possible because I have people in my pipeline.
Right.
That's my audacious goal. And if you want the realistic, would be Sapphire director, having 1 director.
Right.
By May of this year.
Excellent.
So in March, putting things together. And my goal is I guess, personal recruiting. That's a big thing. My words that they were talking about. Personal recruiting, my mindset is huge for me as well too. I think shifting my mindset and just working on that helps me more than anything else. And of course, what's the other one? Recruit and consistency and discipline. Discipline is a huge one, I feel.
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody else have a little goal or a story they want to share? And again, some of you that are fairly new, It doesn't matter the size of your goal. Just share it with us because we're here to help you and support you every step of the way.
Hello, I'll share.
Hi, Cindy.
I haven't, to be honest, I haven't really concrete set down my goals this year yet. Just too much has been going on, but yeah, in the beginning, 25 years ago, it was really, yeah, just looking for an extra $100 a month, right? Like having been a single mom and stuff. So that was kind of my goal, but of course it kept growing and growing. For this year, my goal is to get back my Sapphire Director and maintain it with consistency. And I welcome Justin to our family, and I know he is going to be awesome. So, so yeah, that's what. And I like what you said. I was reading somewhere that, you know, having a word for the year, and I've been trying to figure out what is my word for the year, because there's different things I have to focus on myself, like with exercise, as well as getting organized, as well as there's so many things. So I like what you just said though, Joan. I think that might encompass all that I want is discipline, is having that discipline to be consistent.
Yeah.
Things I want to do, even if it's drinking more water, right? Still like,
Right.
Yeah.
And Cindy, watching you over the last 25 years, like I remember when I met you, yes, that extra $100 a month was your first kind of thing, and getting money to pay for your products. But then you grew to a point where I remember you started sharing you wanted to travel with your family and take them to some travel destinations. And you were able to take your family where this year?
Oh, to Disney. And that's true. It did.
Oh, wow.
That became my goal. You're right. Travel. That was really important to me, and helping the kids with their education. And so they did just grow. And then eventually it was my plan. It was my plan B, but became my plan A when I was downsized at work as well. So yeah, so it's constantly changing, right? Our vision is
Yes.
Yeah,
and you know what? There's so many people out there today. Like for example, for yourself, Cindy, you didn't initially think that Neolife would be a full-time thing because you had a job. But when you were downsized at the age you were at, it's difficult to get back into the workforce. And I remember you saying to me, I'm so grateful that I have this little side gig, this income coming in, because I can't even imagine at my age going out and applying for another job. Who's going to hire someone at my, remember that?
Well,
and
I tried, and then it was, it's very hard to,
right?
To get,
So
definitely.
watching you and that growth, and that it was so nice that, you know, yes, you were a little worried, but you knew that you had the support, and you knew you had this amazing company with these amazing products that you can continue to grow your income and not have to worry about that, right? So yeah. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Jennifer, you unmuted.
Well,
did you want to? Oh, sorry, go ahead, Justin.
Well, nada. So I just wanted to say a few things regarding all that you said in terms of the coffee person recognizing your positive personality. I mean, that's exactly what I also felt when I met you and Cindy at the Brampton Fair. And I think that was really a good assessment. Now, in terms of goals, you know, I believe people with goals succeed because they know where they are going.
Yes.
Goals are definitely very important. And for me, selling is the world's highest paid. You know, we become what we think about. In fact, when you meet people and if your mind is already positive that, you know, this person would be able to embrace your products, it naturally happens, right?
Yeah.
So my goal has always been to have residual income, you know, not just depend on one income, but to open myself to whatever. You know, I feel that selling is something I'm very good at, and in line with what you have is one of the best products. Is for your health. If you want to lose weight, you know, it is just not products you just sell out to people. It is actually to help people, and if you help people, the universe itself has a way of paying you back, what you try to do for others. And
Yes.
so when I saw that, I said, no, I want to be part of this, and this is why I make time to listen to all your all the different seminars that you organize.
Yes. Thank you. And you know what, guys, this is a perfect example. Having Justin on tonight, he just tried samples. He hasn't even started using the products yet. So when you say, oh no, I have to get them started first as members, and then, they got to try the product, and then they can upgrade to promoter, or they can look at the business later. Don't be afraid to talk about this amazing opportunity. And Justin, you came on a couple of calls, you saw the presentation a few times,
Right.
and you said, in the new year, I'd like to get started in the business.
Right.
Which I just want you all aware that there are people out there looking for a good opportunity. And yes, Justin had a good feeling because of the relationship we built and spending time at the booth and coming on a couple of calls. So don't be afraid to share the business, because there's people out there that are looking for residual income, something that would
right.
complement with what they're doing already. So Justin, you were a perfect example to help many of us on the call today to understand that, yes, we have powerful products, but we also have an
Right.
incredible business, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they have to start using the products first. You're going to do it
Right.
together all at the same
Exactly.
time, which is
Right.
fantastic. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Anybody
Can I
else?
just add to that, Nada? Because
Yes.
the other day I was talking to Sandra. She's a nurse, right? And you would think, okay, well, nurses, they make good money and stuff like that. But so as we were talking, I said, by the way, I said, are you open to supplementing your income, like getting a side gig, right? And she goes, as a matter of fact, yes, I'm looking for it. I almost never asked her, because I was going to judge and not ask her, and that's judging. So we've always been told, don't judge. And something just told me, just ask her. And I did. And she said, absolutely, I am looking for something. So she wants to get into the business. So can you imagine if I didn't, she would have gone somewhere else.
Yeah.
So don't prejudge. And that's a constant reminder. It has to be at the back of my head, right?
Yeah.
So, because
Yeah.
you really don't know what someone's going through.
And we met her last summer, like at a booth, and
Yeah, just a few
and-
months ago. Yeah.
right? And we didn't
Mhm.
really think that she would even be consistent with the products, because remember, she was kind of giving us a bit of a hard time. But
Yeah.
but you were persistent and you followed up, and yeah, so kudos to you, Leonie, because I think that was one person I probably would have given up on.
And poor thing, now
But you-
she's in the middle of COVID right now. But
Oh yeah,
I was
no, but
texting her.
I'm just joking
Yeah.
around a little bit, because you're right.
Yeah.
You were persistent. You saw something in her, and you continued the follow up, which is really, really powerful. Really powerful. So thank you
Yeah,
for
I'm glad
that.
I did. She wants to do
Yeah.
the business. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Jennifer. are
Can
you
I, oh,
unmuted?
sorry, can I,
Oh.
while I'm talking, can I just share my goals while I'm just at it?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so yeah, consistency, like Joan was saying, I got to be more consistent, and I I'm working towards, I will be working towards maintaining my emerald, but I want to hit sapphire director by this year sometime,
Excellent.
right? And in so doing, I have 2 words to it. When you say pick a word, I got 2 words, and my 2 words are charge and soar. So charge, meaning anything that I do in regards to my fitness, I got my fitness goals, I got my business goals, and people that I see, I want to grab them, I want to charge them, and whatever that they are charged with, whether it's your business or whether it's their health, they will soar from where they are. So there's 2, charge and soar. That's the
Excellent.
way I are. So that's my 2 words for me.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you. Jennifer, did you have something to say since you're muted?
Yes, I was going
Awesome.
to, I already picked out, like I kind of grabbed a mantra for myself for the year. And it's here and now, just in the moment, and just that's it, not to let past things dictate so much.
Yeah.
I had 2 words before too, it's focus and intention. And my goals are just to talk to more people, get out more. I don't know where to go.
You're coming with me, Jen.
Yeah, Serena will teach you. You just got, tag along in her coattail, because that's what I did, Jennifer, in the beginning. I went along with my upline. Like Alan and Elise would have events, I'd go with them. I'd tag along with them. I'd go to their meetings. I'd learn the language, because I didn't know how to talk about, some of this stuff with visions and goals. And I kind of knew from my dad setting goals, but I didn't understand the language in business. And
Yeah.
once you start hanging around like-minded people and hanging around Serena and coming to events and going to booths and doing all of that, you will learn the language. Okay. And building relationships with people is the key, and getting them to trust you. But the communication has to be there, and you will learn that. And Serena will teach you those words and guide you in that direction. Okay.
That's my biggest thing, because I don't really have a social circle anymore, just from being sick for so long. Like,
right,
it's very small, right? So I don't really have that,
right.
People.
But Jennifer, you know what you do have? You do have people though that knew you before you were sick.
True,
So
yeah.
don't be afraid to reach out to some of those people. Start making your list of names and finding ways to reconnect with some of them. And that's something you and Serena can talk about. Okay.
And sometimes just doing things you like to do, you'll attract the same type of people as you. So, if you can get involved in little groups or events, like now that you're feeling better, maybe start a little walking club, or you could, you can do things where you start
I
to
was thinking
attract.
about going back to the food bank volunteer.
Perfect.
Volunteering,
I used to volunteer at the food bank a lot.
hands down is great. Volunteering, Jennifer, because I know that's where your heart is. That you will
Yeah, I
be.
like doing that. So, and then just kind of just community stuff, and I think maybe a gym, but I don't know how.
Anything
Chatty
like that.
idea. And then get used to talking to people. I'm not, by nature, I'm not a very chatty person. I'm more just.
I don't know. I saw you chatting at that Christmas little get together we had with different women in business. I said to Serena, I said, oh my gosh, she was talking to everybody at the table. I've never seen this side of Jennifer.
I guess I'm okay to, when I'm spoke to, it's
Right.
more like the initiating. I'm no good.
Okay, that'll come.
That's where I have to.
Yeah, no, that'll come, because like I said, I've seen the way people were like talking with you. You were having fun and you were interacting with them, and so no, I don't think you give yourself enough credit. So you just do what you're doing, and you're right. Learn the words, and you will start to initiate conversation. You will. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks.
Excellent. Thank you. Anybody else? Any other little tips or stories or anything? Any goals that early on in your business, or anyone want to share their audacious goal for 2023?
Oh, sorry. I want financially too. I just want to make enough for my products, and maybe, I don't know if this is within reason or not. I'll say 1,000 a month, but honestly, I'm not 100% sure if that's within reason, but
it is. You just have to set a time frame. So we'll talk when we sit together with Serena. We'll just set it like what that looks like. And if you're introducing 3 people every single month and getting them started either as club members or promoters, that will happen. Okay. So your goal, in order to achieve that, then your first goal is to sign up 3 people a month.
I've got to talk to 3 people a day written down.
Oh, talk to 3 people a day, and then out of that, signing up 3
ready.
people. Signing up 3 people a month. Awesome. Okay. Excellent. That's a great goal. Serena.
I just wanted to share, because it was funny, because I made these cards up the other day, and my word, and I just thought it funny because Cindy and was it Joan both said discipline.
Yeah.
So I thought that. So we have a lot in common. Cool. Apparently, we have to be a little.
A little more disciplined, right?
Yeah, but I mean, for me, discipline is just because I always have great, I always feel like I have great thoughts and great intentions, but I never always kind of get there, right? So I thought this year I need to those thoughts, I need to put those thoughts into better action by being more disciplined. So that's where my word came from. But my audacious goal is Emerald Director.
Yes.
I'd like to have a consistent 5,000 PV to know that I can keep that position. So, but the little one to start would be director.
Yes. Excellent. And month end is tomorrow, Serena, so it can still happen, girl. You're pretty darn close. Anybody else? Yes, Shelley.
I can share. Yeah, just when you said, how did things start at the beginning of your business? And I can say that when I first started doing the business, I really didn't think too much about it, except that my knees had no pain anymore. And people were asking me why. And I was like, I don't know, this is just what I use. Like, we want to try it. And I really didn't think about it too much. And I was just talking to everybody because I was just so excited. And that's when, you know, I became a director so quickly, like in the first 5 months. And then over time, I kind of started thinking a bit too much and kind of, you know, not being as consistent as other people have mentioned. And, you know, you kind of go down and then you go up and then you go down kind of thing. So, and I was doing the 3 a month when I started out too. So that certainly works. Absolutely. And so when I look at things now, it's just getting back to doing those 3 and being consistent. And I think that's why part of the reason why my word is playful, because when I'm enjoying things, I'm just having fun. And I have a big smile on my face when I'm sharing with people, then it just comes a lot out naturally about what I'm enjoying about this company, about doing the business, about how I feel. And yeah, so that's kind of where I'm going in 2023, is just enjoying the process and the people around me and just talking about it and moving forward and being consistent. So my goal definitely is to Sapphire and even leapfrog to Ruby. So I'm excited with some of the promoters that I have who are now ready to rock as well.
Yeah, exciting. Excellent. Thank you, Shelley. Anybody else before I go to the next slide? I think almost everybody, did everybody share? I think so. Well, that's great. I'm glad that you guys all shared a little bit of something tonight, because I think that was really, really important. And, you know, another thing, to surround yourself with people who can propel you to your goals. And that's where being around this group is really important. Doing the Tuesday night sessions, coming on our Sunday night calls where we share a win, coming on the leadership calls Monday. If you can't get on live, every Monday at noon, Justin, for those of you that are new, we have a leadership call. And if you can't get on live at 12 o'clock every Monday, you can go back in the Business Builder group and watch it again. But we love coming on live, because if you do have a half-hour window, you can say hello from Canada and or where you're from, and it's really a lot of fun. So you know, being around, like I said, a group like that really does help to move you faster. And never underestimate the power of the people around you to either drag you down or lift you up. Okay, there's a lot of people out there that, you know, we say they're poisonous. They can destroy your goal by draining you of your passion and desire and replacing it with total pessimism. So passionate, positive people can invigorate you with renewed energy and a mindset on the dream. Okay, so get around people who energize you. Call your upline when you need a lift. We're here all the time to support and give you that burst of energy to reset your thoughts and keep focused on where you want to go and on where you're going, and be persistent. You know, a lot of people, you know, used to say to me, "Oh, Nada, your business grew so fast because." Well, let me tell you, I worked my bums off. You guys know I would sometimes work 10-hour days, quarter my days off. Sometimes I'd be going on 2 or 3 hours sleep, and I'd get over to those meetings no matter how tired I was, because I knew I had that goal and that vision to leave my job. And the persistence was key. I remember making a bed on the floor at the office when we had our office in Brampton, and I would bring a pillow in the car and I'd sleep on the floor, and I'd wake up and I'd be there to do the meetings, and or I'd even call some people that I knew that lived in the area and go, can I crash on your couch tonight? So I had my little spots where I knew I could just crash for a couple hours, get up, freshen up, and head to the meeting. Because I didn't live close, right? I lived far away in the country, so everything was kind of in Brampton, Mississauga, and I had to drive and commute. So I had these goals. So being persistent, being focused, making some small sacrifices. You have to attack your dreams. Go for it and don't give up. And they can and will be yours. Okay, if you're persistent and you just keep focused on your goals. And I find it so much easier now, especially with all the tools. We didn't have all these amazing tools, guys. We didn't have Zoom. I was on the road almost every day, where now you can do it from home. You can still go out, meet people, talk to people, connect with people, but look what we're doing right now, right? Imagine if we had to drive every Tuesday and Thursday to gather as a team. We did that, right, Mary Ellen? Joan, I'm trying to think who else used to drive. Cindy, right? We used to go to and Heather, and oh my gosh, we used to drive, right? Every Tuesday, Thursday to gather to do these meetings and presentations. Now, look, we can gather as often as we need to, right? And so it's so much easier, so simple now for you to accomplish your dreams and your goals. So some of you talked about the levels and the income, and find out what your next 2 steps are. Okay, so for example, for Justin, his next step is manager and then senior manager, right? I got to put executive manager. Oh yeah, executive manager is a 2,000 PVs. I got to mark that in there. Then there's director, right? So if you're already an executive manager, your next step is director and emerald director. So always know just what your next 2 steps are. Okay, this way we can help you and guide you every step of the way. Okay, so to get to these goals, sponsoring needs to be a goal. Sponsor 3 people a month. Help a new promoter become a manager or a senior manager or executive manager. Do a one-on-one once a week where you're meeting with somebody one-on-one, doing a presentation, or inviting them to our health talk tonight at 8 o'clock or at 9 o'clock to the Discover More, right? Talk to 3 people a day about Neo Life, like Jennifer was saying. Follow up with your customers. I cannot stress the retention. If you sign somebody up and they never hear from you, the chances of them continuing are very slim, okay? It's important to follow up with your customers. And that's something we can talk with your upline and have a system or a strategy in place for following up. Okay, really, really important. Bring guests to events. Bring them to the 2 rallies coming up in January. Oh my gosh, I cannot stress the importance of these 2 rallies. Okay, bring people. You got to come to these events. Join all the conference calls, all the trainings. These are some of the goals that you need to be putting in place, because this is what's going to inspire you and keep you motivated and keep you from being knocked down, okay, from all the negativity that's going around. So you will not achieve your goals just by reading what you have learned, okay, or listening to me. Okay, you will not achieve your goals with no action. Okay, so if you look back and have not achieved your goals, look at what you have not been doing and just do it. Okay, so that's really, really important. Your dreams and goals will come true, I promise you. So again, I want to thank you so much for joining us tonight. And if there's anything else you want to add before I close that maybe have inspired you, or maybe another piece of maybe insight. I know, Joan, you usually have something, especially with everything you've been doing with
I was just
Eric
about to
Worre.
say, you were saying Jason's steps. Jason, you can jump those steps. You don't have to go 5, 1,000. You can jump. Jump.
Joan is your audacious visionary. So Justin, we will sit down, because I know an extra $50 or $100 a month probably won't excite you, but an extra $5,000 a month probably would. So we're gonna show you those steps to get there quicker,
No
because
problem.
we know your vision. And yes, Joan, you're right. Justin has a bigger vision than just making $100 or $200 a month. So I think Justin Jones has seen that in you. I
Oh
think
yeah,
probably
that's great.
immediately.
Thanks, Joan. I appreciate your observation. Yeah.
I
Awesome.
just saw something the other day in a movie. I was watching a movie, a princess movie, and this
Good.
this father was talking to his daughter, and he said something, and I took a picture of it. It says, he was talking to his daughter, and he says, failures plant the seed for greater successes down the road. So that's a good one, because no matter like for what stuff that I've failed to do, I'm just planting seeds, and it's failures plant the seed for the greater successes down the road. I thought that was kind of neat. So there you go. That's a good one, isn't it?
Excellent. Excellent.
For my princess movie. Netflix.
Oh, Netflix, yes.
I know that's
Thank you. Thank you. Anybody else before we close off?
I guess I was just moved by what Jason said, or at the very, Justin, sorry, said at the very beginning. You become what you think about. And I know that there were other people who expressed you just can't be thinking about things you have to do as well. So I'm just going to say you have to, whatever you think about has to be positive. You can't be thinking
That's
about
right.
negative things. And I've certainly had that
Nice.
that experience myself, being too negative in my thoughts. So yes, thank you, Justin.
Excellent.
Thank you too, Wayne.
Thank you. All right, well, I'm going to stop the recording. Thank you again for joining us tonight.